So, Dr. G, welcome, and thank you for being with us today.
Well, Jason, thank you very much. I've been on board with Jeunesse from virtually the beginning of the company, and some of the new products we're going to be speaking about are things I've been just dying to bring out because they're at the cutting edge of science and health and skin rejuvenation. So with that, I'm going to let you get started with the questions I know you've been wondering what the answers are to.
I have, and Dr. G, I've also had the opportunity to use the product. Actually, when the first samples were created, they sent them to me from Dallas, and so I've been on the product now for almost 90 days from when we first did the first sample, and I can tell you my experience has been better mental clarity, better sleep, feeling better when I wake up. Again, I don't notice my own skin very much, but my wife is telling me that I'm actually better looking, so that can't be a bad thing. So, but I'll dive right in. So let's talk about the process of skin repair, skin rejuvenation, and how that changes over time from early age to old age. And how does this differ? And why does skin age? And why does it wrinkle so much faster as we grow old?
Super. Well, all of these questions are the common things people ask. So, what the skin repair process is really affected by a number of things. And we have a natural skin repair cycle. That's kind of a genetic program in every human being. And that cycle works fantastic up until, I would say, our late 20s, early 30s. So what happens is skin repair, that is, and skin replacement or skin rejuvenation occurs from about 9 o'clock at night till around midnight. And it occurs while we're sleeping. Okay, it's when the body goes into what we call deep sleep and REM sleep, but mainly deep sleep. The body's repair cycle, skin repair doubles at that point at night. And the secret is sleep has a major component to regulating that natural cycle. We'll talk about in a little bit more in detail. So what happens is, as we're young, we haven't been exposed to the damage from the sun, the UVA, which is the radiation levels that decrease and that create damage to our DNA, and the UVB is the ultraviolet radiation causes burns and also inflammation in our skin. So when we're young, we have this perfect natural skin repair cycle. We go to sleep earlier. Our antioxidant levels that our body makes are higher, so the damage from DNA isn't nearly as impactful. And we have a situation where, and we also have a larger number of stem cells when we're young, which allow our skin to regenerate more efficiently. So those are the factors that basically cause skin to age: the loss of this natural skin repair cycle, the loss of stem cells, the lack of damage from the sun in our environment. So those things are minimal. As we're young, we look great, but up until about our late 30s, early 40s, and even beginning in our 20s, we start to lose most of those positive processes that impact and keep our skin youthful. So the question was, and that really plagued me, is how can we restore those lost factors that keep our skin looking younger? And I didn't want to come up with something that everybody else had, is, okay, use this cream at night on your face, you'll look younger. I wanted to come up with something that would repair this, not only the facial skin, but the complete skin throughout your body. And that's one of the big things that makes Finiti skin completely unique.
That's awesome. So what I'm hearing, Dr. G, is it literally, instead of not healing, but rejuvenating your skin from the outside in, it's literally doing it from the inside out, number one. And number two, it's doing that while you're sleeping at night. Is that correct?
Yeah, and so one of the biggest things we've had complaints with is, Dr. G, we love the creams from the past from Jeunesse, but I got to take them with me. I've got to put them on in the evening, got to wash my face. And especially at night when I'm beat, I don't always do that. So, but how easy would it be if I just created something that allowed you to take a drink before you went to sleep that actually did better than putting topical creams on? That's what we have now.
And so we know, being in the sales world, we move people, we move product, those people move product. Part of what's always been the unique proposition with Jeunesse is that we had products that were different from anything else on the market. We all know, being entrepreneurs, watching this Zoom, that the way to create income and create a business is to find a need in the world and to fill that need, to find a problem and to solve that problem. And so, twofold question, Dr. G, and I know you've already touched on it, but number one, for the distributors and for the salespeople that are on this Zoom, what differentiates Finiti Skin from anything else on the market? Number one. And number two, what's the problem? If you could nail it down to one problem that it's solving inside and outside of people's bodies, what would that be?
So what makes Finiti Skin unique is the ingredient, which is called AC11, a natural compound, not synthetic, derived from a vine in South America. Now, we've spent over 30 years evaluating this compound, and it works amazing. It really attacks most of the causes of skin aging, whether we're young or old. First of all, it's the only product documented in over 30 publications in medical journals that actually repairs double-stranded DNA breaks, which are really what decreases our body's genetic programs to make collagen and elastin, because DNA damage is the first step in the aging process, whether it's skin cells or body cells. So that it makes it unique. The second thing that makes this unique is the ability of DNA of AC11 and this new level of DNA repair to help restore the natural skin cycle that is a genetic program, and that occurs at night. So by taking your AC11 drink with a number of other compounds, which we'll get into also, this resets that natural skin repair cycle that no one else has even thought about doing. And it resets it in a natural way so that while you're sleeping, you're actually beginning to repair not only the body's ability to make new skin cells quicker and remove the damaged skin, but more importantly, you're actually able to accomplish this with no effort, with no, not the time required in the preparation for creams, okay, but also this compound actually impacts all the other key processes that cause skin aging. Inflammation, removes dead or dying skin cells. It actually does remove skin pigmentation. So it was so hard to find one ingredient that is a natural source that address virtually all the components and problems that occur with aging skin.
Dr. G, a big question, and you talked a little bit about this, but if you could expand, people ask, well, is it patented? Are there scientific papers, to back it? Are there studies to back it? And I know you mentioned you've been working on this for 30 years. And it's literally up until this point, you've had many, but one of your crowning achievements, as a doctor, as a researcher, with all the things that you've been able to do. But talk a little bit about the patents, the technology behind it, and the scientific papers to back it up, to where we're not just telling people that this is great and it's going to help their skin. It's actually been, tested for multiple years with multiple studies.
Absolutely. So, one of my most passionate things is to create the science behind what will, in the very near future, be new products. So over the last 30 years, I've been involved in publishing papers that document, and now this is papers that document in human beings, not in animals, but in human studies, that AC11 is extremely safe. There's virtually no toxic dose, number one. Number two, we've documented that AC11 is one of the only compounds known, natural compounds, that repair damage to DNA. And why that is important is because damage to the DNA is the origin of the aging process, not just in skin, but in all the cells in our body. So we've also documented that topically, if it's used topically, it has a tremendous ability to repair and restore skin quality, texture, reduce wrinkles, pigmentation. But the big breakthrough came when we realized when we give AC11 orally, particularly with a group of other compounds, its ability to increase collagen, elastin, remove pigments is not only as good as its topical, but even better. So those are just a few of the publications. We've actually documented that AC11 as an oral compound also impacts a number of other areas. It actually helps make more ATP, more NAD, which we have other products that are even more effective. But it actually does multiple things to the there's 100 trillion cells in our body that AC11 impacts. Now, why does it impact the skin the biggest? The skin is the largest organ in our body, and that's why you see the impact of AC11 and its unique properties on the skin quicker than you see it anywhere else.
So, Dr. G, that's awesome. We talk a lot about the sun. You mentioned the sun. You mentioned sun damage.
Yep.
So much of what you see on the internet, television, advertised, literally, plastered all over the world, is skin repair because of sun damage.
Yeah.
Is that something that AC11, as well as the ingredients wrapped around it, which I know make it very unique and powerful, is that something that it addresses directly? And are we saying that it's been proven that people that have sun damage to their skin, will actually start to see signs of that skin being repaired when they start using the Finiti skin?
So let me tell you what is really another breakthrough. There's very few, if any, that I know of sun repair products that focus on sun repair. So what happens is, even in our teens and 20s, when we're out there on the beach, we're exposed to UVA and UVB radiation. Now, that radiation creates damage to our skin, damage to the DNA in certain levels of our skin and certain cells like fibroblasts. And what happens is that DNA damage turns or decreases the ability of those cells to make new copies of themselves, and particularly for those cells to function, which make collagen, elastin, hyaluronic acid, all the things that young cells produce. So it also creates a significant amount of inflammation, which further is a problem because inflammation in general decreases the skin cell's ability to function optimally. So one of the patents we've received is on sun repair for AC11 because it has another unique ability. The more sun exposure or the greater the UVA damage, the more AC11 turns up its ability to repair damage. So it's actually its activity actually increases with the more time you're in the sun. Now that was a unique ability we did not know AC11 had, but we documented that in our research as well. So I believe it's completely unique. And not only does it reverse the damage, but when you leave from DNA and the inflammation from the sunburn, but it continues to work for up to 15 hours after you've been in the sun. So this is amazing, truly an amazing product.
That's awesome. So is it something, Dr. G, that that someone could take more than once a day? I know that, in our initial bag that we've got, I think 30 servings, so it would be one a day for a month. Is it something that you could actually take in the morning and take at night? Would you recommend that?
So the reason we originally have it as a evening drink is because that's where the components of Finiti Skin help reset the natural skin repair cycle, which we lose as we age. But frankly, one of the biggest benefits of this is if you're going to be in the sun, you're going to the beach for that day, I take it first thing in the morning because I want it to be able to start doing its repair work, decrease the inflammation that occurs during the day. So yes, although it's listed at night mainly to restore that natural skin repair cycle, I strongly suggest if you're going to be in the sun and you're going to the beach or you're just going to be exposed, the perfect thing to do is take it in the morning as well.
Perfect. That's good to know. I think we're about to go to the beach, so we're going to stack up on it, Dr. G.
Well, thank you guys for being here. That does it for part one.